This is the second part of chapter 7. So we're going to talk about bond yields. Now, in the previous part, we were talking about pricing, right? We had a discount rate, we had everything else, so we were going to find the price. Right now, in reality, bonds are publicly traded instruments, right? We go to the market and we can buy bonds at a specific price. They do have a price. Therefore, we are implying that these bonds are paying us a specific rate of return. Now, there's several ways in which we can calculate the returns that we're receiving on our bonds. We have what we call the current yield, yield to maturity, yield to call, municipal bond equivalent taxable yield. Okay, the yield to maturity, that is the discount rate, blah blah blah. Okay, basically it is how much are you making if you buy the bond today and hold it till expiration, right? We will see with formulas. We will see with the calculator. This is, I would rather have you do it with the calculator. Yield to call is how much would you receive if your bond gets called. Now, about callable bonds, we mentioned this briefly in the previous video. A bond can be called if the corporation puts it in the indenture agreement, right? That is, the corporation can buy the bond before expiration at up to a specific date in the future, right? Um, if the corporation chooses to buy this bond, they're going to have to pay a premium. So that is the thing, right? If you buy a callable bond, you know that the bond can be purchased, and you have absolutely no saying in that. Now, you also know that you're gonna get paid a premium if that happens. So be aware of that. I'm gonna work on an example. Now, current yield, we will define that in just a minute. We will define that in just a minute. So this is the example that's in your book. 5.25% coupon bond with 14 years left to maturity can be called in 4 years. Call premium is 1 year of coupon payments. It is offered for sale at 1075.50. Let's find all the yields, and let's assume the interests are semi-annual. Okay, so let me pull up the calculator. Actually, I have already here the information that we need to have. Let's work with yield to maturity first. How long is it going to take for us for the bond to mature? Well, 14 years, right? It can be called in 4 years. Now, we're assuming semi-annual payments. So a bond with 14 years left to maturity is going to have 28 payments. A bond with 4 years left to maturity is going to have 8 payments. So this is 28, and this is going to be 8, right? Now, we know that it is offered for sale at 1,075.50. So negative 1,075.50. That is going to be our price, right? That is going to be our price. Negative 1075.50. It's already there. It is already given. We know that's the price. Now we know future value is $1,000. Now we're gonna have to make a couple of modifications though. 5.25% coupon. So we know it is 5.25%. So 0.0525 times $1,000, right? So we receive $52.50 every year. Since we're being paid twice a year, it's 26.25. So this is 26.25, and this is 26.25. I'm gonna make this box a little larger so that everything fits in one line, right? I'm gonna make this a little larger, and everything will fit in one line. Now, this thing right here, I'm gonna make a special point. Now, if you notice, the difference between these two is N, and it's going to be future value. Same price, same payment. You read the statement right here. The call premium is 1 year of coupon payments. That is, if your bond gets called, you get an additional year of coupon payments as your compensation. we agreed that it was 52.50, right? So you get your $1,000 plus an extra $52.50, right? So that's the very two basic differences. Now, current yield is equal to the yearly coupon divided by the price. And in this case, we have a yearly coupon, money, of 52.50, and the price is 1075.50, right? And that's equal to 4.88%. So this times 100 is 4.88%, right? So this is pretty straightforward. Now, we have all the information to calculate yield to maturity and yield to call, right? Let's clear this. Let's say 28 is equal to n. 1075.5 negative is our present value. 26.25 is our 25 is our payment, and $1,000 is future value. Now, one thing, that is not the final answer. This is how much do we make every 6 months. Don't forget that we are doing it in a yearly basis. So I have 4.52. 4.52, right? If we do the same for the other bonds, 8, 1075.5, 26.25, 1052.5, right? Compute interest rate times 2, 4.39. Gonna maximize this. So, in this case right here, the corporation most likely is gonna call the bond, right? Why? Because this is how much they pay if they call it. This is how much they pay if they keep it there till 14 years till expiration, right? In spite of the fact that they're paying more, the overall payment percentage-wise is less than this. Well, 0.13% is not that much. Well, if we multiply it times millions of dollars, it's going to be a lot of money. So those are basically the yields, right? Yield to maturity, if we buy it today, we're going to make 4.52% if we hold it for the next 14 years. If the bond gets called in 4 years, we will be making 4.39%. This is a short-term measure, right? How much are we making in the short run if we just buy the bond, let's say, and keep it for 1 year? Well, 4.88%, right? 4.88%. This year is pretty attractive in the short run, not that attractive if you keep it for a long time. Now, municipal bonds are bonds issued by local governments. You don't pay income taxes on those bonds. You pay income taxes in corporate bonds. You don't pay income taxes in those bonds. Now, here's the thing you need to do. You need to know how much is your municipal bond worth if you, quote unquote, add the taxes to that bond. If you add taxes, you're going to be able to compare it against a bond in which you're going to have to pay income tax, right? For example, a client in the 39% marginal tax bracket is comparing a municipal bond that offers a 4.5% yield to maturity, a similar corporate bond that offers a 6.45, which is better, basically, right? So we want to know if this if we get rid of taxes here, how would it compare with 4.5? Or let me put it this way: if we add up taxes to 4.5, how close are we going to be from 6.45? So the thing we're going to do, we're going to divide 0.045, right? Municipal yield. Municipal is the numerator. It is not the corporate yield. It is the municipal yield. We divide this by 1 minus 0.39. It's 0.7. Let's multiply by 100. 7.37%. Now, 7.38 basically. We compare that against 645. 738 is better than 645. Therefore, if I'm an investor at the 39% bracket, I'm gonna go with the municipal bond, right? Otherwise, if I had to pay taxes, I need a bond that pays me at least 7.38%. If it pays me 7.38 or more, I'll go with the corporate one. If not, the municipal bond gives me a larger after-tax profit. Finally, a little bit of risk about bonds. We have bond rating agencies, right? Uh, Hopefully, you heard of Standard and Poor's or Moody's. If you haven't, you can Google them and you can find more about them. Um, Ratings are basically measure the quality, right? Measure the quality, and it's pretty simple. They go from AAA, AA, A, triple B, and so forth, all the way to D, right? The higher, AAA are the best bonds. Now, what do you get? Not only additional to bragging rights, right? Sure, I issue a AAA bond, I'm the best. Well, certainly for some people that might be important. The most important thing, though, is that you're going to be paying a lower interest rate. The lower your risk, the lower the coupon you need to pay. Therefore, it is in your best interest to have the highest rating as you can, because that's going to mean that you're going to pay less interest, right? So the goal pretty much is to be investment grade, right? Triple B or better. If you are not triple B or better, you're going to have to pay a higher yield, right? So, and some investors are reluctant to invest in junk bonds, whereas if you have an investment grade bond, investors might be more willing to invest in your bonds, right? Uh, well, this